Okay, so now the point of this story is that workers at Microsoft are now protesting Microsoft over their support of Israel during this genocide. That's the point of this story. But I'm going to tell you why they're doing it first, and then I'll show you a video of them doing it. So you see, Microsoft is storing, if you go to the first slide,
Yep.
Microsoft is storing Israeli intelligence trove used to attack Palestinians. The tech giant developed a customized version of its cloud platform for Israelis Unit 8200, which is housing audio files of millions of calls by Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank. A joint investigation reveals. But come on. Don't worry. I think you look at the guy. You can trust Dr. Evil, can't you? I mean, let me just say, wait 1 second here. I cannot believe that Bill Gates, who has been to Epstein Island more times than I have been to the bathroom, would be capable of anything like this serious accusation. Okay, let's go to the next slide. The Israeli Army's elite cyber warfare unit is using Microsoft's cloud servers to store masses of intelligence on Palestinians in the West Bank and Gaza, information that has been used to plan deadly airstrikes and shape military operations and investigation by Plus 972 magazine, Local Call, and The Guardian can reveal. What kind of a name is Plus 972 magazine? That's what I find the most interesting about that. What
does it stand for?
I don't know what it stands for. Plus 972. I don't know. I guess we should have looked into it before the show. And by the way, if it doesn't have naked pictures of Jennifer Lawrence, I'm not interested. I don't care what. Anyway, so Unit 8200, roughly equivalent in function to the U.S. National Security Agency, the NSA, has transferred audio files of millions of calls by Palestinians in the occupied territories onto Microsoft's cloud computing platform, Azure. I think that's how you pronounce it, Azure. Operationalizing, think about that. That's a real word, operationalizing. That's a word. Operationalizing what is like, that sounds like a word I would make up. Are you operationalizing it? Anyway, operationalizing what is likely one of the world's largest and most intrusive collections of surveillance data over a single population. This, according to interviews with 11 Microsoft and Israeli intelligence sources, in addition to a cache of leaked internal Microsoft documents obtained by The Guardian. So I guess Azure is like the Palantir of Microsoft. Is that what that is?
By the way, Jimmy, 972 equals the country code for Israel and Palestine.
Oh, that's like their area code?
I guess their country code they have.
Oh, okay. Okay, go to the next slide. In a meeting at Microsoft's headquarters in Seattle in late 2021, the then head of Unit 8200, Yossi Sariel, won the support of the tech giant CEO, Satya Nadella. Are you kidding me? Satya Nadella? Not to be confused with her cousin, Satya Nutella, who makes the best crepes. Okay. So they won the support of tech giant CEO Satya Nadella to develop a customized and segregated area within Azure that has facilitated the Army's mass surveillance project. Really? Are you telling me they even have segregation within their own companies? It's really bad over there. Okay, let's go to 7. According to the sources, Sariel Nutella approached Microsoft because the scope of Israel's intelligence on millions of Palestinians in the West Bank and Gaza is so vast, it cannot be stored on military servers alone. Think about that. And so you're telling me this unbelievable surveillance state that Israel has amassed is somehow was unaware that Hamas was about to attack on October 7th, and they couldn't respond for hours and hours. Okay, so if, what we've been saying since the get-go, this was funded by Israel, this was allowed to happen by Israel and probably encouraged by Israel because they wanted this to happen. All right, let's go. So now here's the protest part. So this is from The Guardian. Microsoft workers occupy headquarters in protest against companies' ties to Israel military. By the way, how do you know what you are doing is going to overwhelm and ultimately crush you when stuff like this starts happening? But anyway, here's Microsoft workers occupy headquarters in protest against military ties to Israel. So let's go. Dozens of Microsoft employees occupied the company's East Campus in Redmond. I think it's funny that like Apple, they call it a campus,
Right.
and Microsoft, isn't it funny they act like they're at college when they're actually the rulers of the universe, and they're the techno-feudalists. Anyway, dozens of Microsoft employees occupied the company's East Campus in Redmond, West Washington, to protest against what they say is the use of its software by the Israeli military to carry out operations in Gaza. I like how they have to, what they say. Like, you're really, The Guardian isn't sure on this? What they say. Isn't that funny? What they say. So say what you want. Let's say what you want about the employees of Microsoft, but these are smart people, and they know there's going to be trials coming, and they want to be on the other side of it now. That's what I'm thinking. That's a message for the rest of you, by the way. People smarter than you are now bowing out this instant. Okay, go to the next slide. Less than a week after the company said it was launching an independent investigation into the use of its Azure software, current and former staff occupied a space they declared the Free Zone, holding placards that read, "Join the Worker Intifada, No Labor for Genocide," and "Martyred Palestinian Children's Plaza." Wow, they're not messing around. And sure, homemade placards against the most sophisticated technology in the world. It's like throwing stones at tanks, but nice try. Okay, so here we go. The protest organized by No Azure for Genocide group has demanded Microsoft divest from Israel. Earlier this year, employee Joe Lopez interrupted a speech by CEO Satya Nadella. There it is again. Nadella? Is that what am I saying?
Yes, Nadella.
Not to be confused with her other cousin, Sabra Nadella, who pairs well with pretzel sticks. Anyway, at the annual. So demonstrator Hossam Nasser said on Tuesday that they had decided to escalate their actions because there had been no adequate response from Microsoft. And no, Microsoft is not a nickname for Bill Gates' penis. The point is... but of course this demonstrator said that. He's a terrorist. He's a terrorist. All right, next slide. He felt personally motivated to speak out more vigorously after the Israeli Defense Forces, the IDF, carried out the targeted killing of the high-profile Al Jazeera journalist Anas al-Sharif, one of the 5 members of the media who was killed earlier this month in the operation. Of course they killed him. He's a terrorist. Okay. Next slide. This is from DropSite. Breaking. Microsoft employees and other demonstrators with the No Azure for Apartheid movement are currently occupying the office of company president Brad Smith. Workers say they have reestablished a liberated zone inside Microsoft's executive building 34, renaming it the My Ubaid building in honor of Palestinian software engineer killed in an Israeli strike. Did you ever think you live to see the day where there is a liberated zone within the offices of Microsoft? Wow. I thought for sure they were going to be enslaved the entire time. But look, they got themselves. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Bloomberg reported earlier today that Microsoft has spent the past year trying to crush employee dissent over its ties to Israel war on Gaza, including enlisting the FBI, working with police, and censoring internal posts mentioning Gaza. Holy effing F. Wow. So the company has suspended and fired workers who spoke out, while employees have continued to stage disruptions from mass emails to sit-ins and viral protests. The
Wow.
employee-led movement is protesting Microsoft profiting from and enabling Israelis' atrocities in Palestine through its Azure cloud and AI tools. Despite repression, workers say they won't stop. We won't stop to get to the top until Microsoft cuts its ties to the Israeli military. You realize that none of this is on a moral basis. This is just about them saving their ass. I don't know. Maybe not. You know what? I'm going to give them compliments. They're doing something.
Yeah.
According to the organizer's statement, today's action included deploying noisemakers in an atrium. Really? Noisemakers? These people are so disruptive. I like the quiet hum of a 2,000-pound bomb. Anyway, they use noisemakers in the atrium, unfurling banners, and delivering a people's court summons to Brad Smith. Their demands include cutting ties with Israel, calling for an end to the genocide and forced starvation, reparations for Palestinians, and ending workplace discrimination. Good luck on that, reparations. Well, let's go to the video. Let's actually check out the video here.
Microsoft, you can hide! We charge you with genocide!
We are here today not because we want to be here, it's because we need to be here. Every day, every week, Martyrs are dying. We've lost Anas al-Sharif, we've lost Hussam Shabat, we've lost Rifat al-Arir. Who else can we lose? Who else can we afford to lose in this moment? Brad Smith is the face of human rights at Microsoft, and yet Microsoft every day continues to abet this genocide. Every Palestinian phone call in the past few years has been stored on Microsoft servers. That is a disgrace. That is untenable. There is no way to justify that. Every time we have come with these problems, people have dragged their feet. Microsoft has dragged their feet. Satya has dragged his feet. Shame! Brad has dragged his feet. Shame! Has dragged his feet. Shame! Satya met with the head of Unit 8200, and that led to this plan to store Palestinian phone calls on Microsoft servers.
Shame!
What happens as a result is that every phone call is recorded, it is transcribed from Arabic, it is translated and used in targeting for anything that the Israeli military would like to do. That is a shame.
Shame!
We cannot spend any longer waiting around, waiting for Microsoft to do what it has to do.
That's right!
The power is with the people. The people know what is right. The people know that
Can you pause for a second? Can you pause?
It's paused.
Can you believe that people at Microsoft don't have better audio? This is this on Microsoft Teams. What is this? Is unbelievable how bad it is. They're the tech giants, and this is they're not good at live streaming. I'll tell you that. Okay, so there it is. And you know what? What I have to say is, where's their careerism? I fear for the younger generation. This is not a way to get ahead. I'm telling you that. No way to get ahead at Microsoft by doing stuff like this. I also think it's funny that if you go back to slides, go back one slide, if you can, please, where it says their demands include cutting ties.
Yep. Their demands include cutting ties with Israel, calling for an end to the genocide.
Genocide and forced starvation, reparations for Palestinians, and ending workplace discrimination. You know, there was that one guy at the meeting who insisted they tag that on the end, right? Oh, and also free parking for middle management. How about that? Shut up, Walden. All right, so tip of the hat to Microsoft workers. All right, they're doing. I don't want to make fun of them. I did a little bit because of their bad audio, but and they're not professional protesters, so they don't really have the oomph you would like. But I'm glad they're actually risking their jobs to do that. So tip of the hat for those guys doing that. And when they're doing that inside Microsoft, I don't know, is this the beginning of the end for Israel, or is this the middle of the end, or are we close to the end of the end from Israel? I don't know. I don't think the end's not going to come again until, but it doesn't matter because it's the power class, it's the powerful that nobody's for this anymore, right? The whole world is against Israel. The overwhelming majority of Americans are for it, are against Israel. Even the majority of Republicans are now turned on Israel. So, and I think there's parallel protests that Google and Amazon, that's for user for me, says in the chat. So when all the tech, so again, I would like to think that this makes a difference, and maybe it does. I think it does make a difference. How big of a difference, I don't know. But again, it's the power. It's the powerful until they feel like it's not worth it for them anymore. Because apparently Donald Trump and Keir Starmer and all the people in Germany and Ursula they all feel it's still worth it to them. It's still the cost benefit is still in the favor of supporting Israel than standing up against them. So, and until the powerful feel like it's not worth it for them, that the cost is greater, the price is greater than what it's worth, this will keep going. So we have to figure out a way to make it like, I really believe that there's a good chance Kamala Harris lost the race over this, right? So you think she would have, you think other politicians would take note of that, but we'll see what happens. I can't wait for the next election cycle. What I really can't wait for is my shows this weekend in Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver. Then we go to Chicago, Appleton, Wisconsin, Fort Wayne, Louisville, and then we go to Hermosa Beach, Sacramento, and San Francisco. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for ticket. Tip of the hat to Microsoft workers. Good for you, saying something, standing up. Come see me on tour in Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver, Appleton, Wisconsin, Rosemont, Illinois, Chicago, Louisville, Fort Wayne, Indiana, Hermosa Beach, Sacramento, San Francisco. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.